Hey everybody, RPG here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to get your PlayStation 3 games up and running on Batocera using the RPCS3 Emulator. So this process can be a little bit confusing, so I'm going to try to simplify everything and walk you through it in a step-by-step manner. So first and foremost, you're going to need a separate PC like a laptop that you can download your BIOS update as well as your ROMs onto, and I recommend downloading directly to either a USB flash drive or a micro SD card because those can easily be ejected and connected to your gaming PC running Batocera. So we're going to get started with this process. Let's get started.
All right, so the first thing that we want to do in order to add PlayStation 3 games to Batocera using the RPCS3 Emulator is we first want to locate our PlayStation 3 system software update. So just by going to PlayStation.com, you're able to locate it, but if you were to just Google PlayStation 3 system software update, you would actually get a direct link to this. Now, I will put a direct link in the description of this video just so you can jump down there, click through, and be able to access this super easily. But basically, this is an update that we need to add to Batocera in order to get these games up and running. So once you click through on the link, you're going to come to this page right here. If you're watching this video, ways down the road from when I actually filmed it, you may notice that the update version may differ. This is the one that is up to date at the time of this filming. So we're going to go down here, we're going to hit download PlayStation 3 update, and you want to download this either to your regular computer that you use or directly to a flash drive or micro SD card. So in this case, I actually have it set on my computer, so all of my downloads go directly to my flash drive, which I have plugged in via the USB port on my computer. Now you can just download this to your computer and then drag it over to a flash drive or micro SD card if you want, whatever you want to do there. But I'm going to hit download PlayStation 3 update. You're going to see it download in the top right corner up here. And you can see right here, it's downloading in the corner. So this is downloading directly to my Samsung 128 gigabyte flash drive, which I could just unplug from this computer and plug directly into my gaming PC running Batocera when I am ready to actually transfer this into Batocera. So you can see it just downloaded here. I'll locate this USB flash drive here, and you can see that the PlayStation 3 update is downloaded and ready to go sitting in my flash drive. So this will always be labeled this exact way: PS3 update, no E on update, .pup, P-U-P. So we want to just make sure that that's saved on our flash drive or micro SD card that we're going to eventually connect to our PC running Batocera. But next thing we want to do here, because we don't need to do all of that right now, we're going to just save it on there and we'll do everything at once. Next thing we need to do is we need to locate some ROMs that we want to add in. So before you start downloading ROMs blindly, I recommend going over to this compatibility list. Now, this is a great database. This lists all of the games that are compatible with this particular emulator. So again, link in the description of this video so you can jump down there, click through, and have full access to this compatibility list. So if we scroll down here, you're going to notice that we have a couple different headings here. We have an all list, we have a playable list, in-game, intro, loadable, and nothing. So we want to make sure that we go into the playable because we want to ignore anything that's not playable, and it's going to list every single title once you actually click on playable, every single title that works with this emulator. So let's say you're looking for a 007 game, for example. You want to check this list and make sure that it's first compatible before you start spending time downloading ROMs, because PlayStation 3 ROMs are super large files, takes a while to download them, and then you also have to extract them, add them into Batocera, so it's a really time-consuming process. We don't want to waste time with a title that is never going to work with this emulator. So 007, for example, let's go over to the zero, or the numbers rather, and let's see if 007 works. I know for a fact that it doesn't, so you're going to just scroll through the list. We're obviously into the 2s, 3s, and 4s here, so 007 is not listed. We know that we should avoid that game because we're going to spend a bunch of time downloading it, extracting the files, and all of that stuff, and we're going to jump into it and have no luck getting it up and running. So just make sure that if you are looking to add a game, you check this compatibility list first. It is crucial to saving you time and making everything super fast and efficient with your time. So a title that I want to add, which I actually have downloading in the background here, because again, this does take a while, is Afro Samurai. So I'm going to go to A, and I'm going to just double check to make sure that this title actually works with this emulator. And I've already done this, but I'm just going to show you guys what the process is. Afro Samurai right here, and then it says playable. So we know that this ROM is going to work with this emulator on Batocera. So I went over to vim.net, which is a ROM website that I swear by. I love this website. It's got a great selection of ROMs for a wide range of different collections. So PlayStation 3 is a great collection here for ROMs. So I actually went in here and just literally just located the ROM I wanted, go down to the bottom, hit download, and you can see over here in my downloads, it's plugging away right here. I got 9 minutes left on this. It's been going for about a half hour now. So this is 3.41 gigabytes. So, you know, not a massive game in terms of size, but certainly not small either. So about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I think this would take to fully download. So once this fully downloads, it's going to go directly into my flash drive, which you can see right now it's unconfirmed, but it's currently downloading in here. So I'm going to let it do its thing. We'll come back once it's been fully downloaded into my Samsung USB flash drive. And again, you can download this to your computer. You can download this to an SD card, whatever you want to do to eventually transfer over to your PC running Batocera. All right, so we can see right here that our Afro Samurai ROM has fully downloaded. So again, I'm going to just open up my files, double check that it's sitting in my Samsung flash drive here, and it is. So this is a zipped file. So what we need now is we need to make sure that we have 7-zip installed or any unzipping tool on our computer. And I have 7-zip, so I'm going to just right click on the file. I'm going to go down to 7-zip and I'm going to extract it. So I'm just going to click either extract here or extract files. Extract files will give you a little confirmation here as to where you want to extract to. So my flash drive is actually in my E drive, so we can go ahead and just confirm it. It's going to extract this, which usually for something about the size of a PlayStation 3 zipped file, it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. So in this case, this is going to take, it looks like, about 3.5 minutes, which you can see right here for remaining time, 3.5 minutes. So we're going to let this fully extract. We'll come back once it's completed. All right, so you can see here now that everything has been fully extracted. So this right here is my zipped file. So I'm going to actually delete that. I no longer need the zipped version, so I'm going to get rid of that one. So now that I've deleted the zipped version, I only have this unzipped version. So if I double click on this, I actually get to open it up again. So I recommend double clicking on it, and then once you've double clicked on it, you're going to go in here and you're going to right click and you're going to rename this. So you want it to be, you know, whatever the title is. I'm actually going to back all of this out. I'm going to actually remove the spaces, so I just put a dash in there, and then I'm going to change this to .ps3. So you always want to make sure that any ROMs that you download, you rename them to .ps3. Otherwise, you're going to run into problems when you go to add this into Batocera. So that is all we need to do. But what I'm going to do now, because this is actually within this other folder, so I'm going to take this and just drag it over to my flash drive once again, and you'll see what this does in a second here. So now if I jump in here, you'll see that I have my BIOS right here for our update. And now I have the Afro Samurai.ps3, and then this one here we can get rid of. So I'm going to delete that one. So now I'm perfectly organized now to actually drop both of these into Batocera now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my flash drive from my regular computer. We're going to boot up Batocera, and we're going to add these in over there. So let's jump over to the gaming PC running Batocera. All right, so I've just booted up my gaming PC running Batocera. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my flash drive from my computer where I added the update as well as that ROM, and I'm going to connect that to my gaming PC here, which I'm running Batocera on. So regardless of whether you have a micro SD card or a flash drive, go ahead and insert that into your PC that you're running Batocera on. Once you do, we're going to hit F1 on our keyboard, and that's going to open up our file system. So we can go over here to that left column and locate our flash drive or micro SD card if that's the route you chose to take. So you can see here Samsung USB, and inside is all the information that I saved previously. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that PlayStation 3 update. We're going to right click and copy it. Now we're going to go into our BIOS folder over here on the left column. And all we have to do here is just find an open area like down here, right click and paste that in. So I already have my PlayStation 3 update installed in here. So I'm just going to hit cancel. But if this is your first time doing it, you're not going to get this screen right here because you've never done this before. So once that's inserted in here, you'll be able to locate it. It's right there. We know that we're good to go. So now we're going to go back over to our flash drive, and we are going to click on our ROM. Again, make sure that you named this with that .ps3 extension at the end. And we're going to right click and copy that as well. So now we'll navigate over to our ROMs, and we're going to locate our PlayStation 3 folder. And we're going to right click anywhere that's open and paste in our game. Now this will take a couple minutes in some cases. This one seems to be pretty short, so it looks like about 40 seconds right now. All right, so we got 3 more seconds here, 2, 1, and that should add in. So there it is, AfroSamurai.ps3 located in our PlayStation 3 folder within our ROMs. So from here, what we're going to do now is we are going to back out of our file system. So go up to the top left corner, hit File, and close Window. That's going to bring you back into Batocera. Now, if we're using a keyboard, hit your spacebar. If you're using a Gamepad controller, hit Start. That's going to open up your main menu. We're going to go down to Game Settings, second option down, select it, and we're going to hit Update Game Lists. We're going to confirm it. It's going to update real quick. And now if we scroll through our collections here, I probably went the wrong way, but oh no, here it is. You're going to want to locate your PlayStation 3. Make sure that it's on here and make sure that your game's been added in. Don't jump into the game yet. I just want to make sure that, you know, we did add it correctly and it did populate in here. So we're going to back out and we're going to go back into our file system. So F1 on your keyboard, and we're going to go up to the top where it says Applications. We're going to open up our RPCS3 Emulator, double click on it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to File, and we are going to go down to Install Firmware, and we're going to locate that PlayStation 3 update file that we dropped in here before in BIOS. So here it is right here. We're going to click on it and we're going to hit Open. It's going to install this, and it's going to actually compile the PPU. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. Now I've already done this, so I'm purely just demonstrating this process for you guys today. So this is going to probably take anywhere, typically I'd say it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to let it do its thing. We'll come back here once it's been completed. All right, so once all of that has compiled, it's likely going to bump you back out to your applications page right here. If it doesn't, you can just go ahead and exit. So we'll go up to File, close Window, and we're back into Batocera. And we are going to locate our PlayStation 3 game. So let's go down here, search for PlayStation 3 collection. And once we locate it, we're going to now jump into that game that we added. So in this case, it's Afro Samurai. We're going to hit our A button or our Enter button on our keyboard. And that's going to actually bring you directly back into your emulator, and we have to compile PPU. So this is going to be your process every time you add a new game. Luckily, it's pretty quick. It's much quicker than the original one, so we're going to let it do its thing here, and we'll come back once it's been completed. All right, so as you finish compiling your PPU for your title, once it's complete, you automatically jump into the game.
Later. That's the number 2.
All right, so here's our game. We'll just check it out real quick. All right, so we just jumped out of Afro Samurai. You can see that it not only boots up and loads in, but it also plays super well. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick how to actually scrape some data here so this looks a little bit more polished off than what you see currently on the screen. So we are going to, there's actually two ways to do this. If you're just doing a one-off scrape, you can actually just hold down your X button and drop down to the scrape here in options. Now, if you're doing entire collections, I'll actually show you guys how you can go about doing that in a separate video. So check the description of this video and I'll show you guys in there a direct link to a video that will walk through the scraping process if you're doing like full collections or multiple collections. So this particular method that I'm showing you right now is just for like a one-off title like we have here. I only have one game listed as of right now, so it's easier to just do it real quick like this. So Screen Scraper is the scraper that I choose almost every single time. It's just the most polished one. So we have it right here. I don't believe that they have videos up yet for your PlayStation 3 titles, but if you just scrape at least the box art here, you can see that it does look really nice. We have the logo on the right-hand side on the list. Obviously, if we had more games, we would have a list that we could switch titles on, but for right now, we just have the one. So over to the left, we have some more box art both in the screen and then also down below. Also says who made this game, and then we have a brief description of the title with a rating on the bottom right corner. So this looks way more polished than just having the text title list. So we're going to back out here. Now there's a couple things I want to show you a little bit further on PlayStation 3. This particular title works incredibly well just as it is, but there's one more tool that I think is essential for building up a PlayStation 3 collection. So I'm going to jump over to my regular computer because I do want to show you guys the RPCS3 Emulator Wiki page. All right, so here I'm on my regular computer and I've pulled up the RPCS3 Wiki page, which is crucial if you're going to be adding a bunch of different PlayStation 3 titles to Batocera using this particular emulator. So what's really cool about this Wiki page is you can go up here to the search bar within the Wiki page and you could type in titles. So let's do the one that we just jumped into, which was Afro Samurai. And if we just hit enter here, it pulls up the title, and then down at the bottom here, we can actually pull up configuration and known issues to further give us some information on what we need to do within our settings to make sure that this game plays to the best of its ability. So this was obviously a bad example because not only did we actually test this game out and see that everything is running really smooth on here, but it says right here under configuration, no options that deviate from the default configuration are recommended for this title. So let's go in and let's search a different one. So I know for a fact that Skate 3 has some issues. So I'm going to type in this title. So this is for the game Skate 3. If we drop down here to configuration, there's actually some setting recommendations that we need to implement within the emulator in order to get this running at its max performance. So under configuration, it says only options that deviate from the default configuration ensure best performance are listed below. The full list of default options is available here. And it's going to give us our CPU configuration so we can go in and make these adjustments. So here we have preferred SPU threads. We want to switch between the options of 1 to 3. So we can manually go into the emulator under CPU configuration and make these changes. Same thing down here for GPU configuration. We have some, let's see, what else we have? Some advanced configurations down here. So we have an option of 120 for the V-blank rate. This allows for 120 FPS cap, and it appears that it can go higher. So let's drop down to known issues. Users with CPUs with less than 6 cores may experience audio or physics issues. This happens when the audio or physics thread are being starved. To fix this, you can try changing the preferred SPU thread setting to 1, 2, or 3. Test it out and see what's best. If the game has high FPS but it's running in slow motion, then the physics thread is being starved. Try a different value. So this basically just sums up what we have right above it. This is kind of just outlining each particular configuration that you want to alter, and at the bottom it's again just summarizing why you'd be doing that. So this is again just a crucial tool and something that's just a massive help if you're going in and you're adding multiple games. The majority of the games that I've tested runs really nicely and don't need many alterations, but you know, if you come across a game that just isn't running at its max performance or what you remember its playability to be like on the original console, then just come over here to the RPCS3 Wiki page, type in the particular title that you're having some issues with, and it's going to give you those recommendations to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get this running at its best performance. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because, again, it is a major help and just makes life so much easier when you're going in and trying to make adjustments within PlayStation 3 games. So I will put a direct link to this website in the description of this video just so you can drop down there, click through, and have full access to the RPCS3 Wiki page.
All right, so as you can see from this video, there's definitely a lot of moving parts to this process, and it can be a little confusing at times, but if you follow this video closely, I'm confident that you will be able to get your PlayStation 3 games and your emulator up and running on Batocera. So I highly stress the fact that you want to use the links that I provided in this description just to make everything a little bit more seamless and to ensure that you don't waste a ton of time downloading, extracting, and uploading ROMs to Batocera that may not actually work. So definitely take full advantage of the compatibility list, and that wiki page is a huge help in order to tweak games and adjust settings to better your performance. So that's going to do it for this video today. If you found this video helpful, smash the like button for me. Be sure to subscribe to the RetroPie Guy YouTube channel if you haven't already. We do a ton of videos based around retro gaming. We do tutorials like this video, gameplay demos, product reviews, and then we have the Forgotten Favorites YouTube series every Monday and Thursday night where we dive into some of our favorite retro video games of all time. So tons of content on here. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, check us out online on our website, www.retropieguy.com. Thanks for watching.